What is up, everybody? I just wanted to go through a few of my favorite action figures I have. This one currently is definitely in one of my tops. I did get it autographed by the original Black Ranger. Uh, and the weird thing is he really is just an awesome dude. He acts just like he did in the TV show, which I found really kind of cool. But right now, I kind of want to go over a few others that are just like key things in my collection that I just absolutely love. One being, I love the fact that I got Star Trek Enterprise. You know, you got Jean-Luc Picard. You know, everybody else on here. That's awesome part of my collection that I really enjoy. You got your Dragon Ball Z over here. You got most of the main characters and villains that happened throughout the show. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and of course, some of my absolute favorites are the Star Trek edition of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, these are all original, still unopened, great condition. It's just cream of the crop. And then, you know, you got your Marvel wall, which I got to really step back to get a good view of. The lighting's not the greatest, but part of my collection and like my absolute favorite is I've always been a huge fan of X-Men. You know, because the animated series growing up, it's definitely near and dear to my heart. You got the original cast from the animated series that they did a really good job on these figures. I'm actually really pleased with them. Rogue is definitely, you know, one of my absolute favorite characters. Always has been, always will be. Always kind of had a little crush on her. I can't lie about that. Most guys my age have a little crush on her. But I got a good portion of the villains. You got Mr. Sinister, Magneto, Sabretooth, Mystique. They did a really good job on this Mystique. I'm actually really, really pleased with it. It came out really good, very accurate to how she should be in the comic books. Apocalypse, same thing, just came out really fantastic. This was the original Omega Red that came out. Some people didn't like it, but honestly, it came out really good, I think. You know, you got your Cable, Bishop, Blink. Let's see here, you got Phoenix, Weapon X, his daughter, X-23, Emma Frost. This is one that I was going after for a long time, trying to find. I found it at Grand Rapids Comic Con, and I was pretty stoked to find that one. I might have paid a little more than I wanted to on it, but I wanted it in my collection. The original Spider-Man animated series, Rhino, Green Goblin, Scorpion, Lizard. Those are also really cool parts of my collection. I do got the Marvel Legends version of the Green Goblin, which is pretty freaking sweet. I do like that one. Of course, another part of the collection that I really like is some of my Hulk figures. Maestro has always been one of my absolute favorite Hulk characters. And when they came out with this, I pre-ordered it immediately. I could not resist. When they first released the first She-Hulk in the Marvel Legends, they did her in a weird gray, which, I mean, I was excited to have a She-Hulk, but I was kind of like, the color just doesn't seem right to me. And it's kind of weird they did the exact same figure, but in green, the way that she's supposed to. And it is kind of funny because it is literally the exact same figure, just different color. I mean, the mold and everything was great. I mean, they did a really good job on the mold. But it was kind of like you could have changed it up a little bit more. You know, I wish in like the new one that they would have done like her normal superhero costume. That would have been really cool. Red Hulk. I mean, you can't help but love Red Hulk. I mean, you just can't. Worthy Silver Surfer. If you have not read those comics, I highly recommend it. It is a really good one. I don't necessarily like the ending, but I'm not going to spoil it. But it was definitely worth reading. It is kind of cool how Silver Surfer uh, gains the ability to wield Mjolnir. It's pretty cool. He goes up against Thanos. No more spoilers on that. Doctor Doom. I mean, come on, that Doctor Doom is phenomenal. They did such a good job at that one. And then these are the Walgreens exclusive Fantastic Four. I really liked the Human Torch. At first I didn't, but he really did grow on me. They did a whole nother line of the Fantastic Four, and I definitely think these were the better ones. They did a great job on Mr. Fantastic. And then like the reprints that they did, there's the Thing. They changed up his color a little bit. I do like the belt that they gave him with the 4 logo on it. That turned out really cool, but they did some weird stuff with the coloring that I definitely think the first one looks a lot better. But this is what they did with the Human Torch in the second release. And I mean, this is kind of what I more wanted at first, but now that I compare that one to this one, it's like, nah, I definitely like the original better. Then you got the Invisible Woman in the second run, and then Mr. Fantastic in the second run. I don't know, Mr. Fantastic definitely just looked better in the first run, and I love the fact that they gave him really long arms that you can swap out to show his stretchiness and that type of stuff. It's really kind of cool. The original Walgreens exclusive Silver Surfer versus the Worthy one. Same exact figure, they just did it a little bit different color and added Mjolnir. I don't like how all of his hands are kind of closed up. Like on this one, you have his surfing hands, but in here, you only have like closed fists on him. So that was kind of a little on the disappointment side. I think they could have done better. Just to show some more X-Men characters. I wanted this one when it first came out. It's a cool figure, but come on, Marvel. Stop doing Wolverine. There's so many of them. This Beast is really cool. It's kind of a really cool storyline with this Beast. Instead of him, only specializing in just being a genius and everything, it's mostly genetics that he specializes in, and he constantly is changing his ability. He's always changing his mutation genetically to make him more beast-like. And I mean, he came out sweet. He looks really cool. I mean, of course, you got the OG Beast that looks just like the comic books and the animated series that came out fantastic. I would have been really upset if I didn't get my hands on that one. Jean Grey and Cyclops and Wolverine all in the same package. I'm not a huge fan of the multiple action figures per package, but this is one I definitely could not pass up. With Cyclops wearing his jean jacket, Jean Grey just straight ready for battle, and Wolverine. And what's really kind of cool about this Wolverine, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but he has his bone claws in this one, which is kind of cool. I mean, you also have his normal claws that you can swap out, but I like the fact that he comes with his bone claws on him. His, nemesis, Sabretooth, exactly how we all remember Sabretooth being. Just looks awesome. This Thor, I honestly think this Thor was truly the best Thor that they've ever released. True to the comic book. And in my collection, I really am not a huge fan of buying the action figures of actors. I mean, don't get me wrong, the cinematic universe is awesome. I love watching it. I'm not knocking it at all. But when I buy action figures, I want as close to comic accurate as I possibly can get. Beta Ray Bill has always been one of my favorite characters out there. I know I've said that a lot in this video so far, but trust me, he is just a killer character. Awesome storyline, how him and Thor are battling, and then all of a sudden he can wield Mjolnir too. It's just a really cool storyline. It's been done many different ways with slight alterations here or there, but it's all relatively the same on it. You got the newer Red Skull that came out. It once again, comic accurate. It's definitely the thing I looked for the most out of action figures. Thanos, you know, got Kang. This here, this was one of my absolute favorites. This was one of the figures I got closer to like the beginning of collecting. And Doc Ock. I mean, how do you not love Doc Ock? And of course, I have my Venom section, in which I'm going to just save that for another video. Just give you a quick glance on it. Also, Star Wars. You know, just I'm going to highlight one figure. I am so sad that they killed him off. He was one of the coolest characters, General Grievous. There's just something about that character and all of his arms wielding lightsabers and just being an utter badass was just really cool to see. But that's the quick highlight of my collection that I'm going to show you guys right now. So stay tuned, and I'm going to put out a few more videos for you.